Okay. So I got the bad news about the same time as everybody else this morning. I woke up at 7 a.m. and saw it on my phone. Juice World gone. So this is obviously um, a ridiculously huge loss. I mean, it felt horrible when we lost X. It felt horrible when we lost Peep. Realistically, I knew Juice World way better than I knew either of them in terms of just like being like a real regular friend in terms of just being around him. And I know people who were around Juice way more than me. I never really like fucking kicked it out of his fucking crib that much and stuff, but like I was around his team a lot. I was around him a lot. Like over the past couple of after over the past summer, the past year, really in general, with all the festival stuff and everything, he was at all the same festivals. So I mean, there's videos of us hanging out in England, hanging out in Dallas, hanging out at all these different Rolling Louds. It's like there's it's basically like we're at a shitload of the same places over the past year. So I was just around him a lot, and like just like the other day I was just thinking, and it just feels so fucked up that it actually happened, but I was just thinking about how out of a lot of the young talent that I've been around over the course of the past couple of years, it's fucking insane how many of them are gone, whether it's they passed away or are just locked up. And like, I never in a million years would have thought that Juice would have fucking got added to that list like within a fucking week of having that conversation. I guess I DM'd him a long time ago, like when he first started popping up. I think somebody at Atlantic told me like, "Hey, you should check this kid out." So I popped on YouTube and searched his shit, and he had one video out that I'm trying to remember the name of right now, but it was it was like pre Juice World. Like none of his videos since then have had even he just like looked like a kid in comparison to the way he looked in most of his other videos. I mean, he's a fucking kid. He's just like growing up in front of our eyes. But he had this like I think he had a fucking Anthrax shirt on or something, or like, and he had like cut off jean shorts. Because I just remember this because when I first met him, I was like saying something about it, like messing with him, being like, "Bro, your drip has upgraded substantially." Like right in front of my eyes compared to those jean shorts. But they actually took that video down, possibly because of the cutoff jean shorts. But anyway, I mean, Juice was somebody where it felt like every single person in the music industry, when they saw him before he signed or whatever, knew that he was the one, that he was talented. So people called him an industry plant for a little while because it just felt like he popped up and got big so fast. But it's like the truth was that every A&R in music was looking at him like he was the one. And I remember this because I was supposed to meet up with him at my store on this random Saturday, I believe, and he came through and was just super super nice, just incredibly nice off rip. And then he, Dante Ross, the A&R, was there as well, and then I realized, like, oh, Dante is here to meet Juice Wrld too, because I think that I'm talking to him about label stuff, but in reality, every label pretty much was talking to him at the time because he was just so ridiculously in demand. Everybody, he had, it was All Girls Were the Same and Lucid Dreams. Like, those are the only two songs that were out, but that was absolutely all you needed to know that he was going to be huge. And I remember, so Juice leaves, and then later on that day, Cole Bennett is at the shop, and Cole Bennett, I say to him, not realizing like, oh, they're both from Chicago, so Cole probably already knows. I'm like, yo, you seen Juice Wrld? And he's like, oh, I'm doing Juice Wrld's first video like next week. And I was like, oh shit, it's on. So, I mean, that was just it right there. And like fucking, he just never stopped blowing up from there to the point where like literally yesterday at Christmas, or not at Christmas, but I went up to see my fucking family, my nephews and shit. Not for Christmas, but because we wanted to give them Christmas gifts, like their fucking cupcakes and all this shit that we made for them. my 3-year-old nephew fucks with Juice World and was like, he thinks it's really like funny to tell me that he likes Juice World because he knows that I know Juice World. And I'm not even sure if he as a 3-year-old really even gets that Juice World is like a guy and that his songs are performed by this guy like that. I don't know if he would necessarily even know who Juice Wrld was because he's 3. Or dude, saying was right there just fucked me up. But literally yesterday, my 3-year-old nephew is telling me that he likes Juice Wrld because he has a song on the Spider-Man soundtrack that he really liked, and the fucking struggle with his parents and him is that he knows to say, Alexa, play Juice Wrld, and Alexa then plays like other Juice Wrld songs that are not on the Spider-Man soundtrack, and they have a lot of swearing in them, and then the parents have to turn it off because they don't want the kids listening to swearing, which it might sound foreign to some of you because probably a lot of people just let their kids listen to rap music, but not my family. And yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, some people, like I've seen some of the people that I'm even close to, I've seen get like big-headed over the years. Like just as soon as they blow up, they just sort of start acting weird and they're just like less pleasant to be around. That happens all the time. Juice really never had that. To be honest, like if anything was kind of fucked up with Juice, it was the fact that he exploded and then like he never really got a chance to be a kid at all. Like he never had that time period, it felt like, where he was just like a dude, just being a dude, just going to shows, because he blew up so fresh out of high school that it's like he just sort of entered into this like weirdly isolated famous lifestyle of just recording all the time and then being on tour whenever you're not recording, and then it's like it's cool. Like obviously it's amazing that he lived his dreams and stuff, but I always just felt like there was something that he missed out on by never really getting a chance to live out normal adulthood because he just exploded so fast. And I mean, sometimes I look at like what his career was like and I'm just like, is this safe for labels to like take a rapper or performer who's this in demand, this young, this not ready for what's happening to him, and just put him on tour like a fucking workhorse for, just constantly just shipping them around, touring and stuff, and then having them in the studio all the time. And the fucking labels know they're on drugs. I mean, I don't want to sit here and point fingers and be like, this is fucked up. It's so easy to say that. And at the end of the day, I mean, Juice, I never really saw him unhappy. I mean, I was going to say I never saw him unhappy to be on tour. I guess that's not really true. There were times where I saw him where he definitely kind of seemed over it, which is probably not that big of a surprise because, he's just constantly on tour and getting sick and just feeling like shit on the road and everything. And I don't know. It's just crazy to fucking process that this has actually happened and that we actually lost him, and that I don't know. I mean, it just seems unfair. Like when you saw Ski Mask tweets, Ski Mask saying like, why is God just taking everyone from me? Like it just feels unfair. It feels like just improbable. Like how have we lost this many young people? And I mean, I guess I'll just state the obvious, like the thing that everybody should know, which is that just stay away from the drugs in general. Like I don't know what happened with Juice. Everybody, of course, is going to assume it's a lean thing, it's a pill thing, it's something related to the flight and the drugs and everything like that, and that's what happened. And I mean, of course, probably that is going to end up being the case publicly, but I'm not going to sit here and just act like we know exactly what happened to him. But I mean, if I had anything to say to all the kids out there, it's just stay the fuck away from drugs. And I don't know, R.I.P. Juice World, because I mean, he was just somebody who just made so much timeless music during this short stay. And I mean, the fact that when you look at Juice World's fucking iTunes, you have what? You have an album. Well, you have two albums and a mixtape. And I mean, this is a guy who recorded thousands and thousands of incredible songs and who's like one of the most streamed artists in the world. I mean, to be honest, it's so new that it's almost like I don't even know what the reaction is going to be like. Like the Nipsey reaction was huge. Like I never thought about what it would be like if Nipsey died, but it was, overwhelming to see how much that meant to the public and how much people still are talking about it. And I kind of assume that we're probably going to see that with Juice as well, where his impact is just going to be like expanding from here so radically. I don't know. I mean, you're just already seeing like the thing that fucked me up looking at my timeline on Twitter and shit is that you have all the people in the rap game, and it feels like almost everybody in the rap world knew Juice, loved Juice, thought he was an amazing person. Side note, you can't think of that many people that are that beloved, where everybody who ever met Juice loved him. Like, just facts. Like, a lot of people said this about Mac Miller when he passed. You never heard anyone say anything bad about Juice Wrld, right? I mean, you saw 6ix9ine try to beef with him, and even, like, Juice Wrld is such a cool person that when 6ix9ine tried to beef with him, Juice Wrld couldn't help but just, like, basically laugh at him and say, like, bro, you're funny, and, like, couldn't even get into a fucking beef with him. I seen that with other people, too. Like, other rappers, like, came at Juice, and Juice either, like, hit them up and just, like, told them that he fucked with them or, like, just squashed it, or they just, like, almost couldn't hold a grudge against him because he was such a sweet person. And what I was trying to say before is that you had everybody in the rap game, not everybody, but a huge percentage of people in the rap game who knew him and loved him. And then you have everybody else, I follow like YouTubers, comedy people, internet people, whatever. Almost universally, those people as well were reacting because his music hit them as well. Like so many YouTube type people that I would not have even really thought were like huge fans of him, but who were clearly crushed just because his music really meant a lot to them as well. Like, I don't know. I guess let's keep his name alive, and I don't need to tell you to keep playing his music. Rest in peace to anybody on his team who saw this. I'm so sorry. Like, I messaged his girlfriend with my condolences, but I can't even imagine what her mind is like right now, because I mean that was her whole life. Like, I don't know. Everybody, if you want to leave comments down below to share your memories or what you felt about him, feel free. Rest in peace, Juice Wrld.